now.
That, you know what? It's a candy store for me. I love PGA Tour Superstore. I love the clothing. I love the shoes. I like to see who's turning in the clubs. You got old putters. The resale and stuff.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
That's fun.
Schaumburg knows me. My Schaumburg Superstore knows me well,
It's
and
great.
I know them well.
Welcome in, everyone. Episode number 4 of Kash and Matty Talkin Golf. This is Matt Smith, golf guru. I'm Steve Cashel, doing golf a long time, and together we're having some fun with our new podcast series. And in this podcast, we're going to catch up, tell you what's up, a little story time. We take you back with one of my favorites with Gary Player. Also wrap up with a little equipment banter, talking about putters, what we're rolling these days. We've got a special guest that's next to us here in studio, and we'll introduce the special guest, talk a little bit about indoor training. Matt?
It's that time of year.
Yeah,
I feel like I've got a quick mention all the time, but it's that time of year. Hands are getting cold. Today's guest is going to get us through some of that. The Chicago winter that is it's coming upon us.
Yeah, I hate it because we had such a great summer playing golf, and not over yet, but over for a lot of people because of the temperatures. But let's get into it, Matt, if we can. And first, catch up. What's happened in golf recently?
Yeah, let's jump into a few topics here. Catching up, some simulator openings. Just when. And I don't mean this in a negative light, but just when you thought there were plenty of them, there's plenty and some, right? There's a few more simulators. We're calling out today to Hoffman Estates. There's a new simulator in Hoffman by the name of Swing Loose. They're in the Bellworks building, so this massive work complex.
Okay.
So a different approach to the simulator space and what they're going for. And a second one that we wanted to bring some attention to is Golf Zone Social. So this is a rebrand out in Oak Brook. Steve, formerly
Game of Irons.
Thank you. I was about to say Game of
Beautiful
Thrones.
place. Yeah, you called it that earlier, but it was an old 2-story gorgeous furniture store that was started with my good buddy Jin Park. Jin sold it to another company. They kept it for Game of Irons for a little while, and now it's Golf Zone Social. Don't say that fast 3 times, but it's a beautiful place. It's really cool. Great food and drink, and you go upstairs, downstairs with this beautiful marble staircase, But it's tucked right there in Oak Brook, just west of the Oak Brook Center Mall. On 22nd Street, right down the street from Bettinardi as well. So a lot of golf, contacts there.
Definitely a neat area to be, and I can't get my mind off a former furniture store. I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't know that. So that's
neat.
A fun fact about
very
Golf
high
Zone.
end, but it's really nice, and take advantage of indoor golf center because growing up, or even I feel like 10 years ago maybe, we didn't have indoor domes. We didn't have these indoor golf places, so I think it's fantastic.
Come on, Steve. We had a few domes. We had
actually we did. I'm sorry.
We had a few domes,
Pines.
but this simulator golf, gamifying the game, whether it's some fun stuff or some competitive, some league nights, simulators are here to stay. There's a great spot for them, whatever market you're in. It doesn't have to be cold weather. There's early mornings and it gets dark at some point in the night for everybody. But if a place is going to stay open past 10 o'clock and you can play some golf, it's fun. It's fun.
Plus, Matt,
yes.
When it rains and your round is rained out, all right, that's when these places are hoping to make some money, and you take your foursome, let's say, hey, let's jump over to the simulator. Let's not ruin our day here since it's a washout outside. Let's go indoors and let's go play for 3-4 hours, and
Totally.
we'll have some fun because you can play whatever golf courses you want on these simulators. And I highly recommend it. I try to do it a couple times a month in the winter.
Sure. And just one more quick shout out to Swing Loose. I want to just call attention to them as we talked a decent bit there about Oak Brook. They're doing a special thing. This is a 6-bay smaller facility, but really focusing in on more of the private party, whether it's a business event or I saw something that they were promoting where there was an engagement party.
Okay.
Out
I
at
could see
Swing
that.
Loose, so-
Bachelor parties.
All you need are 6 bays and a great place to hang out, and it looks like they're doing that. Golfson's got the 16 bays that you may have just called out, so a much bigger environment. But yeah, some fun simulator things happening. Catching up on to topic 2 here, Steve. I'm going to call out a local, let's call him a golf celebrity, right? I've been using the term influencer or content creator on this channel, but I'm calling this guy a golf celebrity, just a community builder. Roger Steele, he hosted here just on the 20th of October. He hosted his second, what he's calling honors golf. Okay. He hosted his second event. He hosted it at the Evans at Canal Shores. Really neat spot. He called it his Honors Assembly, which was his second event with this brand of his Honors. His initial one was called the Derby in July. And Steve, listen to this format. This is my first time giving you the kind of the scoop on this, but what he did with his Derby back in July is he had 3 teams with 3 players. That's it. They were playing 3 holes, 3-hole contest for $15,000. His whole approach is to find a different format to the scramble.
Okay.
Generate some buzz on it, get some sponsors involved, and just build some community and make it a watchable, enjoyable, different form of golf. This is Roger Steele. So shout out to our guy, Roger. Steve, any comment or take there, or do we get on to topic 3?
No, Roger Steele, I don't think I've ever met Roger, but he is an influencer. As soon as you said I met Roger Steele, you told me about that. I said, I've heard of Roger, and I'm not sure if our paths have crossed, but certainly good for the game of golf. As I always say on this podcast, I don't care if it's youth golf, senior golf, you're trying to do something different, scramble-wise, 3-man teams. If it's golf, it's good for golf. So I think it's great. It's
fun stuff. His content's it's hilarious, it's relatable, and it's just good. It's good for the game. On to the next. Taking this channel a different direction. Caught this one. I caught this on LinkedIn. I caught this development through the USGA and through the CDGA channels.
Okay.
And thought we should discuss here that Illinois, the state of Illinois, has joined what's known as the U.S. National Development Program. Illinois is one of 30 states to now join. This is a program that originated in 2023 by the USGA. And Steve, what this is, I know I'm getting what is this thing? This is a developmental league and competition amongst states for 13 to 18-year-olds. Okay, so Illinois, and I look at it this way, instead of just having the IJGA or what's been known historically as the AJGA,
right?
It's preparing these 13 to 18-year-olds that are playing competitive golf, but heightening it, taking it to the next level to prepare for college golf, putting them on bigger stages. Yes.
Well, I think it's great. And let's tell people, IJGA is basically Illinois Junior Golf Association. AJGA is where Mickelson played, and you name the player. They played on the AJGA, more of a national tour. And to get other states involved, I think it's really great. Maybe state against state. And I wish every state could get involved. I'm sure they're just looking for the infrastructure of who can run this thing. But that's fantastic,
New of 2013, so new-ish, but seeing the 30th state in Illinois jumping on board. We always say it on this show, but it's good for golf. And starting them early, more competitive, more exposure to that type. So thumbs up there. Steve, let's talk about a couple courses we've been on of late, as we do on each episode. Tell us a little bit about the few rounds, if I'm not mistaken, the few rounds you've played this year out at Shepherd's Crook. I know you want to give them another, a little extra shout out here.
Well, we might have mentioned it back in another episode, but just quickly, one of my favorite places, and I was playing with a couple guys last week at another course, and I said, hey, tell me about some of the courses you've played this summer, you've had fun, that were public and, affordable and the whole thing. And I said, Shepherd's Crook. They're like, where is that? It's in Zion, Illinois. You actually, when I drive from Naperville, it's about an hour ride, And I go through Wisconsin, barely. You go up to Wisconsin,
Find
and
your
you
way
come
back
back down like a half mile. But it's right on the border, and it is phenomenal. I don't know if it's an old quarry, but it's basically link-style golf. You might run into 1, 2 holes, 3 holes with trees, but it's certainly not tree-lined by any stretch. But it is a phenomenal place. A really nice clubhouse, good beer and sandwich afterwards. But the golf course, I love it. I would go play there all the time.
Right
and
there
it's
with you.
reasonable, nice carts, beautiful putting green. They do not have a driving range, okay? So, prepare yourself for that. But the golf course, exquisite. I love it. And I love link-style golf because I feel so much better on the tee when I can spray it and I'm not, like these North Shore private country clubs that have trees on both sides.
You don't see many of them around these parts,
No.
so it's nice. You get to see forever what feels like, and they've got a par 5, because I love that place too, Steve. They've got a par 5 along the back of the property. Might be number 12, 13, or 14. It's way on the back.
Yep.
And that thing, if you're playing from any bit far back, that thing's playing 600 some yards.
It is.
And it's the length of the property, and you hit your drive, and then the next decision is, did I hit that drive well enough to go over this creek that's sitting at about 190?
Right.
So you're either playing behind that creek or you're playing in front of it if you can hit a nice second ball up there. So yeah, Shepherd's is sick. They've have you been out? Well, yeah, you have. That new putting green that they did on the side with the
Fantastic.
with the deck.
Absolutely.
They're renovating and taking it to another level.
And 9 is a par 5 with an elevated green. 18 mirrors it. They run parallel.
Right,
Another
yeah.
par 5 with the elevated green. Challenging holes. Difficult to hit in 2 for even the better players. So I highly recommend Shepherd's Crook. Great place.
We love it. And call out to somewhere I got very fortunate to get on here recently. Olympia Fields, and not just any part of Olympia Fields, but the North Course.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone following my channels, my 2 Golf, or following our channel on Instagram, they got a little sneak peek into some of those pictures from that day at Olympia. But if you didn't see it, picture this. Picture 55 to 60 degrees, sunny, light wind, which is nice.
Yep.
That light wind at Olympia. The clubhouse experience being enormous. That locker room is special.
It's incredible, yeah.
Totally special locker room. They told me it's now the second largest in the nation behind Riviera.
Okay.
But second ain't bad in terms of the size of that locker room alone. The clubhouse is special, but the course, you don't host a U.S. Open, a couple PGAs, a 2015 U.S. Amateur, unless you're doing
BMW Championship that John
BMW
Rahm won.
and a Victor Hovland win.
Yes.
Finishing up there just the other day on 18 and looking at where Rahm hit that putt.
Mm-hmm.
When you're walking up to the green, that from the back left over to the middle right where he was hitting it, I found myself on the back right putting to the middle left, and that green is just moving. That ball is scooting all over that place. But we won't talk about the score that was posted by Matty, but I will give a shout out to a friend. You know who you are, who had me out there, who shot a 69.
No.
Yeah, he shot a 69.
Wow.
It's a par 70. This we'll call him a kid. He's my age. This kid can, he played a little college golf, and we had a great day out there.
That's
so
incredible.
much fun. So
yep. A couple of the holes I remember.
that day.
I forgot if it's 9 or 18, and they flopped it. They switched to 9s, obviously with the BMW Championship. But one of them, you're like, this is definitely a par 5. No, it's a 480 par 4. I mean, that you're playing from the white or blue tees. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I can't. This has got to be a par 5 for me. And there's some long par 4s out there.
On a par 70 like that was my exact comment, that a few of those 4s were just monsters.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny. I go out there. I know how to make a double or a triple on the throwaway par 4, and I find myself on one of those tough greens and then a couple 3 putts out there. A few 2 putts though, Steve. I didn't 3 putt everyone.
Good.
But it was a heck of a day.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, Steve? You want to kick us off here? I'm yapping a little too much today.
Well, you mentioned a few Chili Opens on the horizon. When you put Chili Open, what do you mean?
Well, we mean chili, the
they
food
serve
in a bowl.
chili.
We first off mean chili, which I love. Steve, do you like chili?
I love chili, absolutely. So you're talking about a fall tournament, right?
We're talking about winter tournaments, events. You could, they're tournaments. You're out there competing some, but the whole idea being play some cold golf, have a beer or a drink, and eat a bowl of chili afterwards.
Yep. I like doing 9 holes on those. Okay, we used to have it when I worked at Kemper Lakes Golf Club. We had our final member event of the year, always maybe that first Saturday in November, and it was usually pretty nice. I don't remember it raining or obviously not snowing yet, but you never know. But it was always nice. But 9 holes was perfect. We teed off at 9 in the morning. You get done by 11:30, going for nice beer and chili. It's a perfect morning, perfect day. Not too much.
Steve, how much cheese are you sprinkling on top of your chili?
I like
Come
my
on,
cheddar.
fill us in on what Steve Cashell's doing with his cheese and his chili.
I like my cheese. I'll take cheddar. I'm a big cheddar fan. A little limited on other ones, but
have you ever sprinkled on some hot sauce or thrown some
don't
crackers?
like the spicy. Crackers are good, but I'm not into the spicy.
We're over here getting hungry.
Absolutely.
Our guest over to Steve's side is
so who's having the
hungry
chili
too.
opens?
All right, we'll get into it. So we got Oak Brook Golf Club, so
Okay.
a nice public track down there in Oak Brook. They're doing the November 8th. So we'll see how chilly it is. Temperature-wise, it could be tough, could be 50 or so, but they're doing a 9 a.m. shotgun. That's a four-person scramble. Steve, tell us about number 2. Who else is doing a chili open that they've announced?
Looks like Golf Center Displays, and we're playing on the par 3 course there, huh?
That's right.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and theirs happens to be out in January, so that probability of chilly conditions with your chili a little more likely. But yeah, that 9 hole is fun. Have you played it? At dark under the lights?
I've hit a couple shots for the Golf Scene TV show that we've taped. I've never actually played the fully 9. I've got to do that. I've been talking about it for years, but it's a great place and one of the only golf courses, maybe the only one that has lights, right? So you could play till 10 p.m. You could play at midnight, right? I think they close it at midnight. But to think about playing golf at night, where else do you get to do that? It's a really cool par 3 course at Golf Center Displays.
Come out by me. I'm 5-10 minutes down the road. I've only been on that par 3 under the lights a handful of times.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
It is.
It's fun. Good
Absolutely.
variety. Good chance to test out your 140-yard game and below. Good wedge practice. Good iron play. Let's talk about this left dash RCT. Let's keep it brief, but we had ourselves a little bit of a debate leading up to the show. Like, do we want to talk about this? Do we not? Let's get into it.
I'll tell you my story,
for a
okay?
minute. Yes.
And then how our guest, we'll bring him in next. But the guest enlightened me today, right before the taping of this podcast. So I'm in the PGA Tour Superstore, okay, and I'm looking for golf balls, and I see Pro V1, Pro V1X, and I saw they finally have the left dash that they're selling. Left dash has been kind of not taboo, but it's okay. Only the tour players can get left dash. I haven't seen it in a store yet, so I said, wow, but it's $70 a dozen. Okay, Pro V1s are selling for $54.99. These were $69.99. I'm like, wow, you could finally buy the left dash. I haven't seen them in any other stores. And then we come today, I said, this is interesting. Who would buy a $70 golf ball? When you got golf balls as low as $15, $20, you can buy a really good golf ball for $40. Pro V1s are $55, and then you're talking $70. And then our guest, who we're about to bring on, enlightens me and tells me, hey, Steve, you know what? That is a ball used only for indoor training, right?
The RCT or RTC, RCTR, one or the other, but yes. And it enlightened us.
Yeah.
Enlightened both of us.
So I'm thinking you take it out, you play with it. I'm sure you still can, but I wonder how many people might say, I can finally buy the left dash Pro V1X Titleist ball, and I'm going to take it outside, but it's really made to play indoors with the simulators for better measurements.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Steve's shopping for tour balls first and foremost. Steve's looking at the Titleist balls. I love that. Fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun. We can just picture you in Superstore browsing that Titleist aisle.
You know what? It's a candy store for me. I love PGA Tour Superstore. I love the clothing. I love the shoes. I like to see who's turning in the the clubs, you got old putters, the resale and stuff.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
That's fun.
Schaumburg knows me. My Schaumburg Superstore knows me well,
It's
and
great.
I know them well because it's fun. It's fun to shop, and that the used rack, and you just have a blast if you can go in there and rush and look for one item if you're on a schedule. You do what you got to do, but give yourself a little time one of these days if you haven't walked through the store.
I can spend an hour in there just looking at stuff and practicing
Yeah.
putting and seeing what new putters are out and asking to see the new Scotty Cameron that's locked in the case, and looking at some new Maui Jim sunglasses or whatever. I mean, it's got everything, and they do a great job. They really do.
Hey, maybe Santa will be good to you this year.
I've got enough stuff.
Gosh,
but,
maybe some Maui Gyms for Steve this year. A pair or two.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got
it's
two
sunny
pairs.
out there, Steve.
Those are my favorite glasses, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I once was on the Maui Jim boat in Hawaii, in Maui. Got to know the Maui Jim guys back in the day. This was like 20 years ago. I was out there doing a golf event for Golf Channel. And I got to know the Maui Jim guys. They hooked me up, and I went on the Maui Jim boat, which was a lot of fun.
Hey, Maui Jim, if you're listening, Steve could use a pair or three because he loves the brand.
I do.
He was on the boat,
Yep.
at some point in time, so that's fun.
Absolutely.
And so that brings us to our guest, which we've been just hyped to have on and bring on our first guest. It's indoor season is just about upon us, so we've decided to bring on a coach. A guy out of Des Plaines that has become a good friend of both of us, Rati.
Absolutely. Rati. I think I met you. He's from Thailand, by the way, and home of the White Lotus, season 3. I'm a big White Lotus fan. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. This is an honor being the first guest here.
Absolutely. I met you at Erin Hills.
Erin Hills.
I was playing with Matt. We were playing a U.S. Women's Open Media Day.
Yes.
Back in May was my first round of the year. Didn't get to hit balls. That's a story in itself. I played horrible. Remember the first 3 holes? I couldn't hit it at all. It was
It's
a
hard
little cold.
it's hard to forget.
The guy kept saying at my caddy,
It was a hard
take a 7
first
iron,
few holes
Steve,
to
take
forget.
a 7 iron. And then I wound up powering some holes and playing much better. And we go to this guy here to my right. And what'd you shoot, 71 or 72 or
I think
something?
73.
73.
Something like that.
Tough day out there
Unbelievable.
for him. And I met him back at Olympia, just real quick. I met him back at Olympia for the first time prior to the BMW Championship. Steve, you were there.
Yeah.
We were there together. But I happened to meet this guy at the bar.
Just sitting next to him?
chatting. That's
Okay.
that's where we initially met.
BMW Media Day.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah, BMW Media Day. I did meet you there.
There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, we played the North Course. We got rained out, and Matt and I snuck out for another 7, 8 holes. Not snuck out. They said, if you guys
it
want to
down.
go, no, if you guys want to
Keep
go
it
play,
down.
go ahead. You got to carry your own bag.
And we finished playing.
And
way.
we played it, so we got it in. But that was fun. So
That was
Rati, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell me about your past and how you got into golf.
So I've been always been around golf since the junior days. So fun fact about me, I grew up in Thailand, playing my junior golf, high school in Thailand, a little bit of professional there too for a few years, driving around this country, playing tournaments, over and over there for 4 years. And then came here to the U.S. about 15, 16 years ago. And still back into golf. So working as assistant pros at Maple Meadows, did that for 4 or 5 years. And then while I was doing that, I coach part-time. So part-time coaching on my day offs, working in a shop during the week, basically. And then from there, I figured I want to do coaching full-time. I don't want to be at the course. I want to be coaching, helping people. That's where my passion is. So went to into golf tech, did that for a year. Blew up my social media, and now I'm here doing coaching full time.
Rati, I've got a question. I blew up my social media. I've been trying to do that for a few years, and our friend here I just happened to blow up my social media. Explain.
How does it happen?
It's a lot of work, a lot of posting, and then once you keep posting, all of a sudden one hits, and it just kind of keeps snowballing. But it was like 2 videos a day for like 2 years straight. It's not like, I didn't get lucky. It's just consistent work.
Are these teaching videos, instruction videos?
All of those are teaching videos, drills, instructional videos.
Rati, was there one or two folks or a group of folks that you modeled your content off of? Where did you find ideas when you say, and one hit? Was there one or a few for you that did hit? Tell us about that.
So it was one of my first video that went kind of viral. It was just a drill showing kind of me standing on a wall doing my wall drill, head on a wall doing my turn. I actually used that drill with my students back then, so I figure people need to see this because it really helps keeping you centered and not swaying and whatnot, right? So that one went viral, and like you mentioned, right? There's a lot of people on social media that do that stuff that kind of role model after, like guys like Martin Chuck, right? Yeah, he's really good. There's a bunch of coaches that you can name, but I try to be simple, basically, right? Be very straightforward, simple, easy to digest. I guess that's like my goal on social media.
What's your key to working with the amateur player? You see beginners, I'm sure. You see seniors, you see
Right.
ladies playing, you see juniors, the whole thing. What's the key, and what should we do as amateurs to get the most out of our lessons?
So first, being able to my goal is being able to help them to be able to self-diagnose on the course on their own, right? So some keys is being able to know what their tendencies are, the ball flight, what kind of misses they have on the course. That's going to really help your coaches, right? So first question I always ask, what's your miss? What's your typical miss?
Yep.
What we're trying to fix, right? And try to get to the root of the problem and kind of go from there. And using, like we mentioned, using indoors simulators as feedbacks, having video feedbacks. That's key as well.
How helpful, because you've been doing this, as you mentioned, you've been doing this for years.
Yes.
How helpful has the simulator experience, the video content? I've seen you do content through an app as well. If you'd like to bring them up, if you don't want to, that's up to you. But how helpful has this indoor, revolution, if you will, these changes to the indoor space been for you?
It's been huge. It's been huge. Having data to kind of back off what we talked about during the lessons, huge. So let's say we're working on a certain shot that, let's say a slice, right? Knowing what the club does, what the ball does, and being able to back that up using the data from launch monitors. It's like, hey, your ball is slicing because the club face is open, your path is going across the golf ball. That's why the ball slices. To fix that, we need to do this, this, and this. So this is what you need to look for when you come and practice. Certain numbers you need to look for, and that's been helping for sure.
And when you say people don't practice enough, it's hard, all right? Because people work, they've got families, you've got other things to do, along with the work and the families. But, what's the key to, is it taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? That's what one of my swing instructor tells me. You know what, go in front of the mirror, let's work on a couple things. I always take notes whenever I take a lesson in my iPhone. 3 things I got out of that lesson. And even before I go to the first tee when I play, I think about those 3 things, and it helps.
Yeah, definitely. The app that I use for my whether it's online lessons or in-person lessons is called Skillest. I can give them a little shout out. So Skillest.
Spell that.
Skillest.
Okay.
Steve, it's almost like skillet.
Skillest.
It's almost like skillet, but put the S in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I use that for all my online lessons, right? And in person. So every lesson you taken from me, you'll get before swings. So we'll record the swing before. I would do a full on analysis with the lines and dots, whatnot, and then I would film myself during the lesson showing them drills to work on. And those videos is for them to keep, so they can go back and watch these videos. So it's not just like 1 hour, then you're done. It's 1 hour plus the videos that you can go back and study on your own. And if you have questions, you can type in the comments in the app.
Nice.
So it's been a game changer for me, being able to store all the videos that I did, with the students, and they can go back and watch pretty much any time.
Rati, a few trips that you wanted to talk about. You and I discussed this a week or two back, but I want to give a plug to a few trips you have on the horizon related to his coaching. Give us that.
First is Dubai in February. So we got a Pro-Am trip. This is based off of Skillless. So a bunch of coaches around the world bring in 3 students to play a Pro-Am in Dubai.
Wow.
Wild.
4 days of golf, 6 days in Dubai. That's going to be fun. I'm bringing 3 of my students there. And then I got my own coaching trip coming up in March. So that's in Portugal, 7 days in Portugal. There'll be 2 hours clinic. Three of the 7 days can be, clinic by me. 12 students total. So we're looking to bring, guys to Portugal and play some golf, have some fun.
Is there still room for Portugal?
There's still rooms, but very limited. So
there you go.
So you're going to bring people to Portugal, right? You're not going to work with the locals, but you're bringing people from the U.S. to Portugal, play some golf, and give some lessons.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really good. Response is good on these things, these trips?
Yeah, a lot of interest for sure.
That is outstanding. Tell me about Thailand real quick. I mean, what is, I've never been there. How's the golf, and what brought you to the States?
So golf has been picking up recently, especially with the women. There's a lot of Thai names on the LPGA tour now.
Yep.
In fact, number 1 in the world right now, Gino. Right. So that helps the golf business there a lot. So there's a lot of courses. You can play them for cheap. There's some premier courses that you can play as well. But the golf scene has been picked up a lot for sure the last few years.
Private and public courses, I imagine.
Private and public, yep.
Okay. Afi Barnrat, is he?
Afi Barnrat, is
from Thailand?
He's from Thailand.
I love that name. What's his first name?
Kiradit.
Kiradit Afi Barnrat.
Afi Barnrat.
My favorite name in golf.
Fun fact, I used to play junior golf with him.
Really?
Yeah, compete against him. So we kind of go back.
Yeah, whenever they say that name, you actually have to see it spelled out because it is Barnrat. Elfie Barnrat. And I love that name. And he's a great player.
Yeah,
we got to see him on a few more leaderboards and make a resurgence so we can catch the name and enjoy that.
But second part of my question, what brought you to the States from Thailand?
So from Thailand, after a few years on Thai PGA Tour, I figured I want to change. My uncle lives here in Chicago, so easy transition for the most part. So just wanted something new, and here I am.
And it's been Chicago ever since.
What do you think of the turf here? I always say I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Scotland, Ireland, all over the world, so to speak. But no one has the grass and the turf that we have here in this area. Would you agree? Very
different. Bent grass. I grew up playing like Bermuda and different greens.
Yep.
Here's a lot different. It's a lot softer. It's a little easier to chip around the greens. Very different for sure, but yeah.
A lot different than last week for Rati as well.
Yeah.
Playing on some tight lies down there in Pinehurst. So, hey, we've...
How do people get a hold of you?
Ahead.
So, Instagram, social media, Rati_golf.
R-A-T-I. R-A-T-I. And you have the most interesting, and I love this.
Logo.
Brought the hats with that logo with the R and the golf tee.
We're gonna know how to find Steve this winter. Steve will not be able to take that one off.
And in the back, R-A-T-I, Rati Golf. But that is a beautiful logo. I mean, it really is. It's really cool. So I saw that. I'm like, wow, that's really neat stuff. You're gonna come out with a whole apparel line?
I'm thinking about it.
All right.
That's the next step. Look out.
I love it.
That's fun. That's
Good
fun.
Stuff.
Hey, we genuinely enjoyed having you on. I've known you for a couple of years, but certainly didn't know all of that.
Yeah.
And, we're just thankful to get your scoop. And if you're in the northwest suburbs or Rati's willing to travel some, I know that he's a guy to get in touch with because he will diagnose and help you then self-diagnose a bit better. Let's get into story time with Steve here. Okay. All right, let's just transition because Steve teed me up on this story yesterday, and I've yet to hear the full story, so I'm as curious as anybody Steve's going to tell us about a story based in the mid-90s out at Kemper Lakes, and that's I'll let him tell us the rest.
Yeah, it was the Ameritech Senior Open. Gary Player was there. I think Arnold Palmer was there. Jack Nicklaus. Great event that Kemper held for maybe 5-6 years. Doing the senior back there, and it was the senior tour. It's since changed the Champions Tour. I was doing a golf radio show on ESPN Radio, and I wanted to do something with Gary Player. Gary was out there, and so I said I went up to him after his round. This was a Saturday, and I said, "Hey Gary, I do a local radio show. Can I get 5 minutes with you? I want to do a radio interview with you." And I introduced myself. He goes, "Steve, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sign my scorecard. I'm going to go hit some balls on the range. I want you to come with me. Then we're going to go in and we're going to get a bite to eat, grab a beer if you'd like, and then you can have whatever you want." And I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. No pro has ever said that to me, right? And I did exactly as he followed. I had time, so we watched Gary hit balls. Then he hit balls for probably 15, 20 minutes, talking to me the whole time. Went into the player dining room. He got me in there. They have a media dining, but this was players only. We sit down. He has a little bit of food, and he said, "Steve, grab a beer." I grabbed a beer with him. We're drinking beer together, just one or two, and I sat there for the next 45 minutes and got Gary Player to talk on microphone about everything, and he couldn't have been nicer. You can't do that today. You're not going to get Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson. Though Phil's pretty good with interviews, but any one of these guys, Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, they just don't give you their time like these guys do. And I've told you stories about Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, my 3 favorite golfers of all time, because of being approachable, accessible, and doing something like that. Could you imagine one of the greats of the world? And Gary's won in every country. He's won majors, the whole thing. Saying, I want to do a 5-minute interview. Well, you know what? I'll give you as much time as you want, but just follow my steps here. Let me do what I need to do, and we'll sit down and whatever you need. And it was an incredible interview, and I remember it to this day. So
sounds like it.
Yeah, kind of fun.
Like Love that story. Love that. Did Gary have a beer with you?
Yeah, he had a beer.
That's awesome.
Yep.
1 or 2, Steve said.
Yep.
For that matter.
And someday
Not
we'll
like
go
anybody's
into what
counting, but 1 or 2 for sure.
One day we'll get into what Gary talked about, because it was really good stuff. I mean, he was really very mad at the moms and dads of the world, the USA, for what we feed our kids. He goes, "Obesity is the worst thing in the world. You're killing your kids. Feeding them the butter and eggs and whole milk every day. You can't be doing that to your kids, and the bacon." And he's so good. And
Gosh, I could go for some bacon now.
And you're a thin guy.
This is a food show all of a sudden.
I know.
Chili and bacon.
Yep.
Sorry,
We're gonna
Gary,
wrap it
but
up with club.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll transition
We try to
out
do a
of the
little
bacon
equipment
talk
every show, right?
Yeah. We call this equipment banter, and this is where Steve and I say, let's just talk about something that's been in the bag or been in our world of late, and we decided here we're just going to talk about which putter we've used this year and why. Steve, I'll let you start.
All right, I use a Bettinardi. I love the Bettinardi. I had a Scotty Cameron that was 38 inches, counterbalance, and now I found one with the Bettinardi. I was custom fit, and they have the most amazing custom fitting that they do at the Bettinardi Studio B in Oak Brook. Went through that whole session, and the people that are there are amazing. And Tommy Sopik, who's one of their top fitters, if not the top fitter, gave me a little putting lesson along the way, which has really helped. But I love my Innove. It is a mallet putter, 38 inches counterbalance, because I seem to shake a little bit when I'm putting. So I need that heavy putter. And I don't hold it like Bernard Langer or anything, I just hold it halfway down. You can, I love the long grip on it because it's 38 inches.
Yeah.
And I've putted better than I ever have, but I love that putter.
No, that's great. That is something that is potentially on my radar, something like that, because I've been using what's on the table up in the front of this. Yes, up in the front of this video. That is the Old Beauty. That's the 1990 Cleveland Classics KG3.
Nice.
Which is Ken Giannini, which was one of their designers and one of their staffers that designed that putter. So for me,
it looks short. How many inches?
Yeah, it's 33 and a half or 34.
Okay.
I've got that Iomic on it that I tried out this year because I like that pistol, like skinnier grip feel. I love the feel. I love the feel of the face. It has this little speed slot in it that just mutes the ball. And really, anytime I've handed it to a friend or just anyone to putt with it, they always say, gosh, it's soft.
Nice. I like it.
If you don't hit it off the center where that little dot is on the top, if you're off a little bit, certainly less soft. And, I'm putting with a blade style putter, which isn't doing me any favors. But for me, it's the simplicity, that dot on the top. And I like the idea that it's on me. I like, if I'm going to hit the putt, it's totally on me. I'm doing nothing to help myself out. But I do know I wouldn't mind a little more forgiveness and just a different model. Like mallets are great. You see, there's a reason why it looks like 8 or 9 out of 10 of the top players in the world, and you can just continue down the list of top players that are hitting mallets. So I won't get rid of this KG3 by Cleveland though, because that's been a fun one.
Beautiful looking putter, it really is. Let's ask our guests real quick before we say goodbye. Rati,
Yes.
what do you play on the greens?
I got a bunch of options, but
Okay.
currently the Lab Golf, the new Lab Oz 1i heel shaft.
Oh,
What'd
wait,
you
now
just
was
say?
that the
The heel
zero
shaft.
torque?
The zero torque, but heel shaft.
We're gonna talk about that in another episode because that's the hot thing. All
That's
right,
the
it was
hot-
always center shafted with the zero torque. Bettinardi makes it. Lab Golf.
Yes.
TaylorMade makes their first one, and now they figured out you don't have to go center shaft.
You can put it in the heel, but somehow they balance it to.
Somehow, that's what I want to find out. But you like it,
I like it so far.
yeah?
Rati, how long have you been? How many months? You're probably on a month or a week count when it comes to these putters. But how many months or weeks in?
We about a month in,
Uh-huh.
so
How often
still
do you switch?
depends.
Really? You're like a lot of people.
Depends, yeah.
I mean, I got 30 putters in the
Yeah.
basement. Some that I've got Camerons and I got Bettinardis.
I go through them.
Yep. They're fun though. It's like jewelry,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yep.
If you're a putter collector
Yeah.
to a certain extent, I'm not over the top. I won't buy $2,000, $3,000 putters, but I've got some really cool putters that I just don't want to part with, and they're fun.
They're fun.
Rati, what's your take on a wider grip versus a pistol style? And help someone like me for a moment. I understand it at the surface, but tell us why you might recommend one or the other.
Well, technically, if you go bigger grip, it will kind of mute your hands a little bit.
Better mute the hands, right?
Right. If you're someone who's like wristy and handsy, they would recommend a bigger grip. But the skinnier grip, like the pistol one that you have on that one, it would give you more feedbacks when you when you hit
Or
the ball.
feel.
More feel.
Yeah,
more
that's what I looked
feedbacks.
with this one, Matt. I said, boy, I could see getting around a 5-foot putt and just feeling like there's no way I'm going to miss it if I just put a nice stroke on it. You get that, like Roddy is saying, the
So it's-
feedback and the
yeah.
feel.
So it's like balancing the kind of science and the art together, right? I guess they're trying to do that with putter grips now. Make a thicker one, but still give you good feedback. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of balance that.
Yeah, they're getting there. There's,
they're getting there.
I remember when the Super Stroke first came out.
Yeah.
Now, the size of that is like a toilet paper roll.
Yeah, pretty much.
Almost.
Right.
And they still, that one still does exist, but all the different sizes. And then, so thought that'd be a fun way to wrap. Steve, bring us home.
Yeah.
If you will.
Well,
I'll leave it to you.
Many thanks to Laird Crawford, this beautiful studio. I'm receiving so many compliments. They said, you guys aren't in your basement with an iPhone. You got a beautiful switching system, 4 cameras. Laird Crawford and Ian Ryan Interactive do a marvelous job. We want to thank Roddy for coming on. Great to see you again, my friend.
Thank you.
So thank you so much telling us about Thailand and all those connections. And it's great to have you in our area. Giving lessons, and we hope that people will follow you and give us a follow as well. Matt, you tell us, right?
I'm here to promote. Look
Yeah.
out. So if you're those listening and watching, catch us on YouTube, catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram. We're TikToking now, Steve. You're gonna be doing some weird dances or something. I've got a feeling before long.
I'll do it.
So we're on all that at Kash and Matty. You can on YouTube specifically, Kash and Matty Talkin Golf. We're building. We're just here to talk Chicago golf. Maybe extend it to the Midwest some, because we love the golf in the greater Midwest. But it's been very fun. It's been fun to tackle.
Episode number 4. That's all we've got for you, and we'll talk with you next time.